Tyrese folks, you know,
That's like when I'ma say this. He's like one of my uncles. Cause he been around, no real shit. He been around me for a long time, and I learned a lot from him. I just figured, and I told him we was supposed to do the video Friday, and it ain't happened. He told me he was gonna pull up on me. He actually one of the guys that I knew. I kept telling him like, no, he like, hey, he coming. Like I ain't gonna hold you before you came. I'm like, he gonna come. He like, he coming, don't he? I'm like, no, he gonna come. Just not like one of the people that do bullshit. Because he already know how I am. Because if I say I'm gonna come, I'm coming. I know Jess. He say come. He gonna come. He's gonna take it. He here. Nonetheless, he here. Because he said he was gonna come.
So let's get into it, man.
My thing, is a disconnect, and we gotta fix that. You know what I mean? Especially, in our city. But it's a thing that's going on all around the world. Look, music is it's for everybody, but it's really a young person's thing. And the reason why I say that is because the best music is the rebellious music. All the way from the beginning of time, it's always been what the people demonized because the younger people was coming with a new idea, a new thought that may have not benefited the older people, or they may have feel bitter because the deal wasn't right, because the Migos may be getting more for 3 songs than they did with 20 albums. It is what it is, but this is what we've been fighting for, you understand? Like, we've been fighting for that. We've been fighting so our younger people, our younger brothers and sisters could have way better than we ever had. We're supposed to want better for the next one than we had. I don't feel like I took a loss, and I don't think nobody that's my age or older should feel that way. And I think that it's a negative conception with how I see a lot of young people wearing Wu-Tang stuff, Public Enemy stuff. So it's not like they don't like the music. They embrace it. They love it. Matter of fact, Wax, the vinyl is selling through the youth more than it's making a resurgence. All in Europe. It'll be here in America soon. All over again. So it's most definitely enough for all of us to be able to have a platform. But the youngins is at the forefront. Because the youngins are going to be the leaders. That's what it says. In any scripture out there, it says the young will lead the older one. So we just got to get out their way, man, and embrace it and esteem these young brothers. Like what I'm doing right now. Y'all see brothers all day long doing things. When the last time you reached out to them? Said, look, what can I, what you need? How can I help you? You know what I'm saying? So you can become successful without feeling like, since it didn't happen to me the way I wanted it to happen, that I'm going to stop them from getting to where they got to get to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, cause I be seeing Gilly do it a lot. So I'm gonna mention this. I'm gonna mention your name. Because you're OG in the game. And it's like you seen what you had to go through to get where you needed to go. So you pulling a lot of the youngins up. It's not just you doing it because a lot of people might look at it as, oh yeah, the youngins I mainly see is his sons. Of course he's gonna promote. You're gonna promote your sons, they're your kin. But also I see you putting up a lot of youngins that's rapping, and a lot of your young boys. You putting them on the camera and you giving them limelight. You just had Tory Lanez on your podcast. You had Young Thug on your podcast. And these are all youngins. Yeah, they already blew up, but these are all people that's young. You had Pooh Shiesty. You had what's his name? I just
Yeah, Floyd on there too.
No, we ain't gonna talk about Floyd. Cause Floyd's an OG. I'm talking about young boys. He old here too. I'm talking about youngins. Dolph is old. Or Dolph like y'all age.
Right.
We gonna talk about youngins that he pulling up. He had what the fuck is his fuck?
I be watching it. I definitely watching it.
I know the last one that he had.
Young Thug, Tory Lanez, and he had Lil Yachty.
Well,
had Lil Yachty on.
I seen that one.
But that's big, and even though they're already big, you still pulling up the youth. And even if nobody else mentions your name, Gilly, I just want to give you your props and say thank you. Even if they didn't say thank you for you pulling up the youngins. Because there's not a lot of men out here like my Uncle just said. There's not a lot of men out here pulling up the youth. There's not a lot of us doing we supposed to be doing for our youth. We not opening the door for them. We making them kick it in. And it's like we was just talking about on our last show. Some people deal with pride. So people they hear no and they revert back to what they know. Correct?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because you watched me grow up, so you know. I mean, and then you breed other youngins, but you and me meeting him when I was young, he know I was a high head. So me meeting him, a lot of shit. Me just being around him, he wasn't allowing certain shit to go down while I was around him. Like real shit. Oh, you got drugs and shit on? No, young, you can't be around me. Oh, you got your joint on you? Oh no, you can't be around me. Young boy, like you not gonna respect your elders, you can't be around me with that. So it was a lot of shit that I took from him, and he taught me how to be a thinker instead of teaching me how to progress in the streets. He was teaching me how to progress legally.
And life too.
And he was teaching me life lessons that I necessarily, for real, honestly didn't even learn from my blood uncles because they was in the streets and they was selling drugs. And so my ways was naturally from them. And me looking up to him and looking at him like an uncle figure too, opened my eyes, and it made me respect what he was teaching me. Because like I said, with our youth, if you don't make them respect what you're teaching them, they're not gonna listen. He made me respect what he was teaching them. And he was also teaching me how to be my own person. Because a lot of us are followers. We're not leaders. We're not leaders. We look up to certain people and be like, damn, I want to be just like him. That's a follower. That's not a leader. That's not a leader. A leader is somebody who be like, all right, well, I respect what he's doing. I see what he's doing, but I'm going to think for myself. And I'm the same hustle he got, I'm going to apply. I'm the same hustle he got, I can apply it to something different. I don't necessarily have to follow in your footsteps. That's a follower. A person who follows in someone else's footsteps. A leader is somebody who creates their own way of getting the bag, but can use the same methods as you.
Right.
I can use the same method. That don't necessarily mean I gotta follow the same procedures you did to get where you at. You feel what I'm saying? I don't necessarily have to, I don't necessarily have to follow what you're doing step by step. I can create my own path. That's a leader. It's a person who creates their own path. It doesn't necessarily mean I came up with my own idea. It just necessarily means I created my own way to do what you was doing, but I did it legit, and I did it my own way, and I ain't gotta worry about, like I said, looking over my shoulder. I ain't gotta worry about a motherfucking I ain't gotta worry about necessarily being in the streets. I ain't gotta worry about the police. I ain't gotta worry about the ops. I ain't gotta worry about none of that, because everything that I'm doing is legit.
Also, we don't gotta worry about that we're not here doing this right now.
Exactly.
Because if we didn't handle what we had to handle then, we wouldn't be enjoying this beautiful day right now. Like brothers, you know, providing y'all with seeds and nourishment and you know, all kinds of, you know, whatever it is that you need to grow, the mineral. I feel good that what I say, it's something that I said helps people, and I want to say thank you to Gilly as well, because I remember Gilly coming into studio sessions that I was in. You know, I had people come from different, not just Philly. I had young guys coming from Erie, PA, and he was embracing them and providing platforms for them. So thank you to Gilly. You know, thank you to Wallow as well. You know what I mean? You know, because I know it's a lot. It ain't easy, man. You know, coming up with what you got to, you know, you want to give people every day, but you're doing it, brother. And you made it from the mud. You made it. You came from the mud, and you know, it's good to see you a millionaire now. That y'all millionaires now, and y'all making our city look good. Thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? And
I think they motivated half the podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
And then at that, y'all doing a lot of stuff that most people that made it from Philly don't do. Y'all reaching back for the youth. Y'all doing what the people out in Atlanta do. Y'all doing what the people out in Memphis do. Y'all reaching back and y'all pulling others up, because there's not a lot of people from Philly that did that. The last people that did that from the city of Philly was State Property, and that was what, every bit of 10 years ago. So for those past 10 years, the people that have been getting on from Philly haven't been pulling people from Philly out of there, go elsewhere, like somebody out in Atlanta or somebody out in LA. That shit corny. Pull people from your youth up. Pull people from your city up so they can come back to the city and pull people up. And y'all wonder why there's all these senseless killings and people robbing people and these things going on, because people not opening up the doors for opportunities for people to stop doing shit like that.
I say it's starting up a little bit because I did hear about Meek signing Core.
Yeah, that's one person after 10, like I said, 10 years.
It's starting up. It's a process.
After 10,
it's a
15
process.
years.
Look,
It's a
yeah.
process.
we're not on here to demonize
No,
nobody,
no.
but we know that
It's a process,
from state
bro.
property
Yeah.
to even all the way back to Will Smith. We're gonna
Yes.
take. Will ain't even included.
Right.
All the way back to Will Smith.
Yeah.
All the way to state property. All the way to Meek Mills. The job could have been done a little bit more better because y'all standing on the shoulders of giants. Meek, a little, I feel like, no disrespect to Beans, but I think at the time that Meek was coming, Beans should have embraced him a little bit more, and it should have not been a thing where to see who's hotter than who and who, because Beans had his chance. He wanted to go to jail, unfortunately. When you
And
go to jail,
continuously.
when you go to jail,
After he
guess
was
what?
already in the game.
You're a leader of your group, state property, you kind of let them down because the move don't get made unless you say so. So if you're not there, then no one really cares about your team because the leader's not there. They didn't respect them all the way. They respected you. So that's basically what we talking about. We're talking about when we should be putting each other on and bringing each other up and supporting whatever we're doing. Like, especially with the youth, the young people. There's a lot of these young brothers out here that can appreciate some, there's a lot of times in the studio, a lot of guys be having, free time. Bring some of them youngins in there, let them record without charging them though. It don't always gotta be about no money. Everything ain't gotta be about a move all the time. The money gonna come, trust me.
Especially if he hot.
Yeah, the money gonna come. And they only gonna get hot if they practicing. That's the thing.
They only gonna get better with time.
With time. So these is the boxing gyms for artists is the studio. So it's good to give back sometimes, man. Everything ain't gotta be. I know the game is supposed to be told and not to be sold and not to be told.
But sometimes you gotta tell it and not sell it.
You gotta give back.
Sometimes you gotta sell it and not tell it
And
because
not sell
honestly, because I be on the train or on the bus and there's a lot of young men and a lot of young women that can sing. I mean sing. And then sing a lot of these niggas that y'all think can sing under the fucking water.
Right.
And they're not and they're homeless. They're homeless. We got homeless, talented singers that are homeless. We got people that can play the drums that are homeless. We got people that have a lot of talent that are homeless. You don't see that type of shit, like I said, out Memphis because they pulling them niggas up. You don't see that type of shit out Atlanta because they got other people pulling them in. You don't see that type of shit out LA because they're pulling them up. You don't see that type of shit out Charlotte because the baby done reached back and start pulling niggas up so that the people that he pulling up they niggas from Charlotte. You feel me? You don't see other states going through none of this poverty stuff as time progresses because you got people, major artists from major labels, even because the baby is not he's not under a major label, he independent and his shit major. And he made his shit major self-made. So even him, he's reaching back and pulling people forward. We have to pull each other up, like my Uncle Jix just said. We gotta pull each other up and stop pulling each other, holding each other back, or trying to pull each other up, but also remain relevant. Bro, if you help me out, your intentions was good. So my intentions is gonna be to reach back and take you with me. You already showed me the ropes. You got more, especially if you got more experience than I do. I know you're gonna know a little bit more than me. So I'm gonna take you with me. I'm not gonna go get nobody else and pay them what I could be paying you. When we folks, come on, bro. I'm not gonna bring in nobody else. You know your shit. All right, well, and also keep it real. If you don't know this, tell me you don't know this, because that's my obligation to go get somebody who do know. Because if I don't know and you don't know, how the fuck we gonna move forward?
But we know somebody who knows, and you know
Exactly.
what? One guy I like to say thank you to, man. That always out of state property, that always is lifting the young people up. Is my man Oskino.
Yeah, for sure. I was about to say,
Big
I knew
time.
you was coming.
From day one,
I knew you was coming.
he always,
I knew you
from
was
the
coming.
E-Nesses to the Miss J's to even up to the Meek Mills and everybody else that's holding the city down now.
Oskino.
My man has always never had a problem going to a producer studio, taking
So
pictures
big up the
with
O,
him.
big up the
So
O.
big up the O, man.
big up the O.
O most definitely is one of them
Sure.
guys that I wish we could all be like.
Yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Cause I remember I met him. I was a kid. He was in West Philly. I didn't even know who he was because I was young. I was young and dumb. He was like, man, I'm like, who? Because he was pushing the jack. He always in something crazy. So he like, yeah, man, you don't know who I am? I'm like, no. Who are you? He like, man, I'm Oskino. He like, you don't know Oskino. I'm like, I'm sitting here telling, I know him. I'm like, man, I know Oskino. My folks know Oskino. I know Oskino, mind you. I don't know who I'm talking to because I never saw his face. I just knew the name. So I'm like, man, I know who Oskino is. He like, nigga, young boy, you don't know who Oskino, because I'm Oskino. I'm like, man, you ain't Oskino. He pull out his tape. He like, man, he pull out his CD, because at the time this was when CDs were still popping. Because I was, like I said, I was a buck. He passed me his CD. I see it and it say Oskino. I'm like, oh shit, this is Oskino. The whole time, I'm going back and forth, but this was me, like I said, young and cocky and dumb and didn't really know shit. I'm sitting here arguing back and forth with Oskino. Like, nah, I know Oskino, old head, and you ain't him. I'm sitting here actually telling this man he wasn't who he was.
So, look, being relevant, right? Back to what Neff said, being relevant, how much more relevant can you be? If you're already relevant, how much more relevant do you want to be? You already got your relevancy. So you help somebody else up and you help them be relevant, you didn't never stop being relevant, is what I don't understand. So why do you want more relevancy when you already relevant? Why we can't all be relevant? You understand me?
So basically what it is, just learning, teaching, and spreading, right? If you do all three, everybody gonna eat.
Right. And all that cloning, I ain't never been with no cloning. So I'm most definitely about originality, because with cloning, you get the same thing all the time. You already know what you're getting. But with random, you never know when the next great thing gonna come, because it's all random. Nothing is genetically, it ain't cookie cutter. It ain't, running through some type of assembly line being put together. It's original. It's random. It's organic. So let's push some more for the originality too, man. It's all right. Look, we don't all got to talk about money all day long. There's more issues in life and more things in life than just money. There's family. There's being a man. Period. Because I'm with all that, man. We talked about that on another podcast. Hopefully the brothers invite me back on.
No, for sure. For sure you come.
And we can talk about, man, no disrespect to nobody else out there, but it's all right to be a man too. You know what I mean? So, we want to build little groups, in every neighborhood where it's like where the men could go and be men and talk about men things and build as men. Because it's all right. You know what I mean? Just like the women got their thing, everybody else got their other thing. But we want to keep it man as well. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to put out there. But yeah, man, we got to just really start showing love. Like, if any one of these big artists, like whatever, Lil Uzi, Lil Dicky, whoever, y'all doing these big shows, man, I need to be coming together and opening up platforms for the youngins to get on there and they could do their thing, man, and stop worrying about being relevant when you already relevant already. You can't get no more relevant. You want to stay brand new, but it don't work that way. You're only born one time, and you come into the world. Then another baby comes. You're no longer the baby after a year. Another baby comes. Now that baby needs that nurturing and attention and all that.
Until they not a baby.
Right. And then another baby comes. So it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's still love. Like, you don't gotta feel like, look, we're going to live to die one day. All of us is going to do that. Don't waste your life trying to hinder other people's light from shining. Help the light shine. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to stay relevant in that. You don't think people don't see? You know what I mean? So your name's, what's the best? You take basketball. Yeah. Jordan had his time. Before him, it was Dr. J, You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. Like, everybody had their time. Your body go through wear and tear. Like, as an artist, you're going to be running around on the stage, your knees and your arms and all that. Like, you human at the end of the day. You're not no robot. So you start breaking down. So somebody obviously has to come, like, the Temptations. After a while, they had to replace them. People get old and sick, can't perform no more, but the show must still go on. So it's like, that's, in a way, going back and reaching and getting talent and giving them a platform. So that's what we need to do, man. That's what we really need to do, man. So therefore, us old head niggas like me ain't got to worry about when I'm old, the youngins not reaching up and looking out, because they see that we extended the hand and we gave them the platform to run with. We no like it's under us and y'all y'all own men, because real leaders, remember this, make leaders. They don't make followers. A follower make a follower. a leader make a leader. Like a doctor makes another doctor. A fireman makes another fireman. You understand me? So if you're following somebody because of conformity, that fear of conformity, you know, like when you go in front of the mirror and you think you Jay-Z, but you're not really Jay-Z. You're not really not. But you want to be them. That's a little form of that. That's you not being comfortable with who you are as a person. Because you got to be like them all the time. But you just got to be yourself. Don't conform. Conformity is a form of fear. And if y'all come up to me from the street talking that man stuff, and y'all got that in y'all, I'm going to have to question y'all character. Because there's got to be some type of fear in there. And what is fear? False expectations appearing to be real. So remove the fear, stop conforming to yes anything, and learn where to find good leadership from. You already know, the good leader makes leaders, not followers. Because if the leader goes, then what's going to happen if it's just followers? None of them don't know how to lead.
All right, y'all, we're going to wrap it up. Like, subscribe.
Comment.
215 Sit Down, baby.